The world's most secure bank had been robbed, an act unthinkable, yet it had happened. This wasn't just any bank. This was the fortress of finance, the citadel of currency, a place where wealth was guarded with an ironclad assurance. Its reputation was unblemished, its security measures unparalleled, its vaults impregnable. But then the unthinkable occurred. The bank's impenetrable defenses were breached, its vaults emptied, the world left in shock and disbelief. The fortress had fallen, and the world's trust along with it. The initial investigations were met with a wall of confusion and uncertainty. The finest minds in law enforcement were brought in, their task daunting, their outlook grim. Every corner of the bank was combed, every security measure scrutinized, every employee questioned. Yet, the leads were as elusive as the culprits. The trail was cold, the clues non-existent. The bank's security systems were state-of-the-art, designed to deter even the most audacious criminals. Laser grids, biometric locks, motion detectors, and a myriad of other technological marvels stood as formidable guardians. Yet they were rendered useless, defeated by an unknown foe. The days turned into weeks, the weeks into months. The optimism that once filled the investigation room was replaced by a growing sense of despair. The case was going cold, the leads drying up, and the chance of solving this mystery seemed as distant as ever. The world watched, waited, and wondered, who could have done this? How did they do it? And most importantly, why? This wasn't just a heist. It was a blow to the world's faith in security. If the world's most secure bank could be robbed, then what was safe? The world was left grappling with these questions, uncertainty hanging in the air like a thick fog. The case seemed unsolvable, a mystery wrapped in an enigma. Yet, in the heart of this despair, a glimmer of hope was about to emerge. A new player was about to enter the fray, a detective with a reputation for solving the unsolvable. But that, dear listeners, is a tale for the next scene. Before we proceed with our thrilling tale, we have a small request. Our detective is about to embark on the journey of a lifetime, a journey filled with suspense, drama, and a whole lot of intrigue. But he can't do it alone. He needs your support. Your subscription to our channel is the fuel that keeps our stories going. It's the wind beneath our wings, the energy that drives us to create more thrilling content for you. So, if you're enjoying this story and can't wait to see what happens next, hit that subscribe button. Not only will you be supporting us, but you'll also be the first to know when a new chapter of our thrilling tale is ready for your viewing pleasure. So, join us, subscribe, and become a part of our journey. Now, back to our story. Enter the scene, the best detective. A beacon of hope in this sea of uncertainty. Meet Detective Viraj, a man whose reputation precedes him. Known for his sharp mind and keen eye for detail, he's the one you call when all other hope is lost. His track record is impeccable, a testament to his relentless pursuit of truth and justice. As he steps onto the crime scene, the remnants of the world's most secure bank, he takes in the details. The vault door blown open, the empty cash trays, the absolute silence that speaks volumes about the audacity of the crime. A sense of intrigue washes over him. This, he realizes, is not your everyday bank robbery. Viraj's eyes narrow, his mind already racing with theories and strategies. He's up against masterminds who've dared to challenge the world's best security system. The detective knew this case would be unlike any other, a challenge he was ready to tackle. The detective began his investigation, diving deep into the labyrinth of this mystery. In the heart of the world's most secure bank, the detective found himself surrounded by a puzzle only he could solve. His mind, sharp as a tack, began to weave through the intricate web of clues left behind by the elusive robbers. Every detail mattered. Every tidbit of information was a potential clue. From the precise timing of the heist to the methodical execution, it was clear this was no ordinary crime. His eyes scanned the bank, looking for the invisible threads that connected the pieces of this enigma. He studied the vault, the broken security systems, and the meticulously planned escape route. The absence of any significant leads was baffling, but the detective was undeterred. Like a hound on a scent, he was relentless in his pursuit of the truth. He interviewed the bank staff, meticulously recording their statements, looking for inconsistencies, for the faintest hint of deceit. He analyzed the bank's surveillance footage, frame by frame, searching for the unseen, the overlooked. The detective was driven by a deep-seated belief that the truth, no matter how well hidden, always leaves a trace. In the solitude of his office, the detective pored over the evidence. Documents were strewn across his desk. A cup of cold coffee sat forgotten as he delved deeper into the mystery. He cross-referenced statements, examined the bank blueprints, and scrutinized the timeline of events. His mind raced, connecting dots, forming a picture that was slowly starting to take shape. As the hours turned into days, a pattern began to emerge. There were subtle signs, slight deviations from the norm that began to paint a different picture. The detective's intuition, honed over years of experience, tingled. He was onto something. Every stone turned, every lead followed. The detective was inching closer to the truth. His determination was unwavering. He knew he was just a few steps away from cracking this case wide open. The mystery of the world's most secure bank robbery was about to unravel. Then, a breakthrough, a sliver of truth in a sea of deceit. Our diligent detective, never one to back down from a challenge, had been working tirelessly, sifting through the evidence, connecting the dots, and piecing together the puzzle that was this mysterious bank heist. The investigation had taken a turn when a previously overlooked piece of evidence, a singular glove, was found at the crime scene. The glove, laced with unique traces of a rare oil, pointed to a specific industry. This was the lead our detective had been waiting for, the first step on the path to unmasking the culprits. With this newfound clue, the detective pushed forward, narrowing down his search to a group of individuals employed in the industry the oil was linked to. The net was closing in, the culprits were within reach, and the chase was on. The detective, using his sharp instincts and years of experience, managed to apprehend the robbers. The robbers were a group of skilled thieves, renowned for their ability to penetrate the most secure of establishments. Their capture was a significant victory, but the mystery was far from over. The robbers, under intense interrogation, revealed a startling fact. They had not acted alone. They were merely pawns in a larger game, manipulated by a puppet master pulling the strings from the shadows. This was a twist no one saw coming. The robbers claimed that they were working under the orders of the bank's very own manager. The person entrusted with the security of the bank was implicated in its downfall. The manager, they claimed, had orchestrated the entire heist. The detective, taken aback by this revelation, knew he had to tread carefully. The stakes were high, and the culprits were not just criminals, but a part of the institution they had robbed. The detective, however, was not one to back down. He knew he had to follow the evidence, wherever it led him. The robbers were caught, yet a greater truth was about to unfold. The detective's journey was far from over. The real mastermind was still at large, and justice was yet to be served. The detective was ready for the next chapter in this thrilling saga. Opening. The robbers had not acted alone. They were but puppets in the hands of a mastermind. As the tale of the bank heist unraveled, a sinister truth began to emerge. The robbers, who had initially appeared to be the sole perpetrators, were revealed to be mere pawns in a much larger game. Their confessions, delivered in hushed tones and trembling voices, exposed a shocking twist. The bank manager himself had orchestrated the entire operation. The man who was entrusted with the safeguarding of countless fortunes, the man who was revered within the community, was the very architect of this audacious crime. The robbers were merely his instruments, manipulated and maneuvered to execute his grand design. It was an unthinkable betrayal, shaking the foundations of trust and integrity that the institution was built upon. The bank manager, once a beacon of reliability and order, was now ensnared in the web of his own deceit. His downfall was swift and absolute. The revelation of his involvement in the heist sent shockwaves through the city. People watched in disbelief as the man they had held in high esteem was led away in handcuffs, his head bowed in shame. His arrest marked the end of a chapter filled with suspense and intrigue. The truth, once buried under layers of deception and secrecy, had been unearthed. The man who had masterminded the theft of millions had been brought to justice, his facade of respectability shattered. But his arrest also marked the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter of healing and rebuilding, of restoring the faith that had been so ruthlessly betrayed. The bank, once a symbol of trust and security, would rise from the ashes of this scandal, stronger and more resilient. Closing, the bank manager, once a figure of respect, now exposed as the architect of the heist. The detective had done it. He had unraveled the mystery, bringing the guilty to justice. With the bank manager behind bars, a sense of satisfaction washed over him. This was not just a victory for him, but for the entire city that had been held in the grip of fear and uncertainty. His relentless pursuit of the truth had paid off, unveiling a plot that ran deeper than anyone could have imagined. The world's best security bank, the supposedly impenetrable stronghold, had been compromised from within. It was a chilling revelation, but one that was necessary. The detective's triumph was not just in capturing the culprits, but in unmasking the treachery that lurked beneath the surface. His resolve had not wavered. His spirit had not faltered. He had stared into the abyss of crime and deception and emerged victorious. In the world of crime and deception, the truth eventually prevails. The detective had proven this once again.